Diabetes, high cholesterol, blood pressure. You want to learn what you can do? Stay tuned. Welcome to AARP Real Possibilities. We are honored to have back with us one of my absolutely all-time favorite guests and friends, Chris Johnson, and golf buddy and a fun-loving human being. Glad to have you back with us again.
Pleasure, Paula.
Thank you. And again, for those of you who may not know you, and I don't know who that might be, but for anyone who may not know you, I mean, you're an international speaker. You are author of 7 books. You used to run the Michigan Athletic Club. You are the founder of On Target. You worked with medical facilities, medical doctors. You still consult with medical staff. Whatever it is that deals with the wellness of an individual, the holistic wellness of a person, performance, mind, body, all that. You've been doing it for a long time.
Long time.
A long
37
time.
years, so
37.
you're aging me very quickly.
That's all right, 37 years. And this is you can look like this too after 37 years, ladies.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here. I know
My
your
pleasure.
time is so valuable and you travel throughout the world talking about that. So I appreciate you giving us some of your time today. We want to just talk about wellness in general. We're going to talk a little bit about what you eat, how you are what you eat. And also let's touch on diabetes today and knowing your numbers. Let's start with just in terms of food.
Okay.
Whether it's fast food or our diet, what do people need in terms of, well, we know a lot more than what we do, right? But what do we need in terms of food every day to live a healthy and live our best life?
So the thing I always like to talk about is your health begins in your mind. So when you
I'm real healthy then.
Right. So before you jump into food, I always say, okay, everybody, I kind of know I should probably eat more fruits and vegetables. I know I should probably do this. But it really begins in the mind. So step 1 is self-awareness. What am I currently doing nutritionally? So am I drinking enough water? What's my habits? So that's the first thing I try to pull out with audiences or individuals. Like, tell me where you're currently at. What have you tried before? What's worked? What's not worked? The diet industry is a $60 billion industry.
Wow.
With a 95% failure rate.
60 billion?
60 billion with a B. With a 95% failure rate.
Wow.
What other industry? Because we're always trying to do something new. So the reason it doesn't work, we go too fast, and the list goes on and on. But we got to step back and what's my awareness? What is my tendencies? What is that? So that's step number 1. So once you get into that little self-awareness, then you start building pillars. And the first pillar is, am I hydrated? As simple as it sounds. Most people come in the emergency room for dehydration. So I'd say to Paula, how much water are you drinking a day? And if you're saying I don't know.
Half my body weight.
Yeah, so if you're doing that, that's you're perfect, right? But most people are not drinking 50 ounces a day. And so I remember my father, I don't think he drank 20 ounces a day. So if you can start with water, and then from there, you think, okay, so now I got that. So from there, then I start building along the way. And now I look at Nutrition 101 is what nutrients am I missing? And then what am I not absorbing? So people are like all the time, I'm taking this supplement, that supplement. Reality is are you really absorbing it? Am I taking calcium, which you probably shouldn't be? Calcium's hard to absorb. Am I taking vitamin D3? Another nutrient that's hard to absorb. So you got to step back and what am I missing? And then from there, you start moving into quality. And the quality is, and that's the reason I developed the target, is where you currently are eating and how do you slowly make it a little bit better? And if you looked at carbs, proteins, and fats, that's all there is, vitamins and minerals. We make it so difficult. So if you look at carbohydrates, that's fruits, that's vegetables, that's ancient grains, that's starchy carbohydrates like potatoes. But in our world today, we think carbohydrates are unhealthy. I'm going to cut my carbs to lose weight. Well, in reality is if I take my carbs out, I'm not going to have good brain health, and I'm not going to have good gut health. And the gut and the brain work together. So the first thing I have to get people out of the mindset is I got to get back into the brain, like understanding that I need these healthy carbohydrates. Do I need to eat all the processed red area foods? The answer is no. So that's the processed foods. But if you can get back into the thought process of the source, now you're getting there.
The closer
to the source, you can't. Nothing's off limits.
And the source is Earth, really.
So if you ask most people about this and that, they're like so confused. Do I need to learn how to read a label, or is it GMO or organic? I just ask the question: what's the source? The closer it gets to the source, the better it is for you. So if I have an apple, people are like, hey, is apple cider vinegar good? Yeah, it's great. But even better than that is an apple. So if you can get people to eat an apple, it's one of the greatest things for acid reflux, gut health. So I try to get my clients to eat an apple at least 3 times a week. And then if you're understanding the source, here's applesauce, here's apple juice, here's Apple Jacks, you can see how it starts to disappear. So our society, we get so focused on cutting this out and taking this out. And what I see in many research articles is they're not ever comparing the source. This article comes out and this is confusing everybody. You know, now we know eggs aren't good for you. Eggs are bad. Eggs are good. Eggs are bad. We don't know. All you have to ask the question is, how's the egg raised? You know, how's the chicken raised? And then understanding the egg can be amazingly healthy for you. So if we go back to those things nutritionally and understanding you need good carbs, you need healthy fats, and you need healthy proteins, now I'm starting to develop a plan.
But people have to know what the healthy ones are. They need to, I mean, because French fries from McDonald's for college students.
So the question would be is,
the source.
Back to the source. So if I'm looking at, I'm making French fries at home, I might have sweet potatoes or white potatoes, and I put some olive oil on them and bake them, that can be amazingly healthy French fry, right? So we don't have to take things away, we just need to make them better. So if I can get people to think about getting to the source and making what they're currently doing a little bit better, now you're not taking things away.
I know you share it with our team. I know you've done some work with AARP Michigan, that just small steps. So you don't have to, go throw everything out of your refrigerator right now. But if you are eating a bag of potato chips every day, then maybe eat one a week. Or it's just take smaller things.
Step one would be get a better potato chip.
Get a better potato chip, exactly, yes.
Get a better pizza.
Oven baked or something. Versus
make it with better oils.
Yes,
so these are the steps, because if you start taking things away,
it's not sustainable.
No, it's not going to work, right? So if you said, hey, what do you eat for breakfast? I eat oatmeal. Well, let's take a look at your oatmeal. What do you make and put in the oatmeal? So now I'm not taking it away, I'm just making it better.
Better, right.
And now the body's going to respond that way. So if we get that simple concept of eating more real food and then understanding the source, then we can take anything that we're eating and make it better.
So how do people get this information? I know, you've got all sorts of books, and you've written things in 7 books, and you do personal training classes, but generally the general population, where do they get information? How do they find out what they need to be doing?
Well, it is challenging. That's what it's so, there's so much information out there, $60 billion industry. There's a lot out there. So we have to really go back to the basics. That was the last book I wrote, Rest, Eat, Move, because I wanted to create a book that helps, in our website's very vibrant. There's many free resources on there. We have podcasts that come out each week. We have workouts that come out each week. It's free. But the thing for everybody to take away is this. Let's make it really simple. Am I drinking enough water? Start there. Number 2, I need to make my gut healthy. So if I can eat real foods, like a banana, like an apple, like real oatmeal, that gets the gut healthy. A lot about gut health today and brain health, whatever. And then from there, we have to understand fasting. We need to fast 12 hours a day. Now, people talk about intermittent fasting, is that good or bad? Well, now we're in a diet. But if I can eat at 7:30 p.m. and don't eat again until 7:30 a.m., I've done my 12-hour fast. It's not a diet. It's easy. It allows the body to clean itself. And then from there, understand calories are important. But if I'm eating high-quality foods, it's going to be a lot easier than who wants to count calories.
Right.
And then last but not least, you have to create a lifestyle that you can repeat. And that's what we call the 80-20 rule.
So many people are on the go. We're moving fast. You wake up, you maybe do your exercises, and you want to grab something to eat. You may not be able to fix, I love the oatmeal on the go, but if they don't have that, what are there bars? Is there something that if you want to eat something, just to grab it and go?
So again, to go back to where we started, let's start being a little more intentional about what we're eating, understanding the power of food. Food is love and social and all the wonderful things, but food is also, medicine and information to the body. So if I'm trying to feel good during my day, I'm going to be a little bit more intentional. Instead of having the Pop-Tart Mountain Dew for breakfast, I'm going to have better energy. So I'm going to be a little more intentional about what I'm planning and eating. It doesn't take a lot of time. It just needs to be small steps to begin with. So if you looked in my car right now, you know what's in the car. There's food in that
Papaya.
car. Right. But it's intentional. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's more intentional. Because there's a lot of confusion out there. We have our brand new bars. We get them made in Traverse City, Michigan. They're a whole food bar. People call us up and they say, there's too many calories in that bar. I'm like, it's just a real food bar. There's nothing in it except real food, but it's an alternative for
Right.
grabbing some unhealthy. So it could be a piece of fruit and some nuts. These are easy steps along the way, but it really begins with let's be a little more intentional what I'm doing. How do I make it a little bit better? Am I fasting? Am I drinking enough water? What nutrients am I missing? And getting away from, instead of thinking about how do I figure this out, understand the source.
Real possibilities. That's what it is. Yeah.
But we make it so,
We do,
so challenging.
Let's talk about another issue that's plaguing America.